Hello, captains. This is Kent, and welcome to the Flight Show. So, sorry for being away, but I have come across a really cool program, and I've been using it for a little bit, really last night and a little bit of this morning. But I'm totally excited about it, so I thought I would share it with you. The program is called FS Flight Control, and it basically allows you to set up different scenarios so you can practice things such as takeoffs and approaches and landings. And it's so totally cool because, they had a program, Approach Pro for Flight Simulator, but it didn't work with Prepared. And now we have a thing for Prepared users and Flight Simulator users that allow you to practice your landings in whatever aircraft that you like. And, as I've, heard it said before that, sometimes, we flight sim places to place. But if you were a pilot training, what you would be doing is you would do something over and over again so that it's automatic when you have if a situation arises. So here is a really cool opportunity to practice all kinds of approaches, takeoffs, the whole 9 yards. And it's just like, I'm totally in love with it, and I've only had it a little while. So I thought I would share it with you. So let's just get started. Oh, and let me point out, as you know, my show is kind of geared to the new user, to kind of usher themselves into the genre of flight simming. I would highly recommend this program if you were a new user, because it'll help you practice to get really good at what you're doing. So, that being said, let's rock. Okay, so now we've jumped to the airport, and I'm just going to unpause it, and we're going to do this approach real fast. Let's see here. Okay, so as you see, we jumped in the on the approach 3 miles out, and we came in at the speed that I had requested, which is 90 miles an hour. And now we can just fly this approach. So we're going to do this real fast. Yeah, when I said over the water, I was not kidding. This is, oops. Keep your eye on what you're doing, Ken. But anyway, all right. So as you can see, lovely rendered trees and graphics. If you remember from my last post, I'm using Terraflora for the trees on the island, and so it looked really nice. So that's totally cool. Now, as you can see, I'm coming in. I'm going to drop my speed because we want to control our descent rate with our speed rather than necessarily pitch. So we're going to drop this down. Yeah, we're looking good. And again, I jumped right in. I didn't have to, go to the map and drag my aircraft over. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is so convenient. And you can have an option of forcing to load all of your terrain scenery every time, or you could get there, let it load it, and then you just cycle it through over and over again, which is like totally convenient. So you can start your approach over very quickly, and it just works fine. I haven't had really any glitches so far, other than that whole flaps issue. Okay, we're going to drop full flaps. We're going to cut our we're going to cut our speed. I'm a little high here, but that's okay. We can cover this. There we go. And we're going to drop there right on the runway, looking nice. A little fast. It's okay. Cut our throttles. Pull up. Don't balloon. There we go. Okay, so now that you've seen it in action, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, well, that wasn't my best landing. Let's just do this again. And so I hit the icon that I showed you earlier. And here we are, ready to do the approach again. Bam! I know y'all looked at that and just went, okay, shut up and take my money. I know, right? That's exactly how I felt. And here is the really cool thing. Try before you buy. This allows you to use the product for 14 days before you have to pay for it. So you can really see if this is something that you want to spend your money on. And I believe it's I don't know if that was $49 or 49 pounds. I have to remember the increment, but I think it was 49 pounds. So it might be about a $54, $60 investment if you're in America. But as you can see, I think I'm going to get all my money's worth out of this. For no other reason for setting up approaches for practice, but also setting up approaches for the flight show. Buyer's remorse. I have no buyer's remorse on this. In fact, I'm exhilarated about this project. I've been, looking at it online, and I've been obsessing. Should I spend the money on it? Should I spend the money on it? And I've been going back and forth. Let me tell you, no regrets whatsoever. Totally loving it. Okay, so now, as you can see, I'm a little high, but I am much better than that garbage approach that I just did. Or final, as it were. So yeah, we're looking good. We got 80. I'm going to drop speed just a wee bit more, and we've got full flaps, so we're good there. Oh, that vegetation just makes this look so nice. Just so that you know, in terms of my scenery, I don't have any specific scenery to this, like an island scenery. This is Orbx. Just when I am talking to you guys, the phone would ring. Oh my gosh, people, really? That's okay. We'll call him back. Live video. Are you kidding me? Should have turned the ringer off. I can't blame them. But we're gonna finish this approach. Bring it over a bit. Okay, look, I'm blaming that phone call, okay? I am blaming that phone call. I was doing great. Okay, but we recovered beautifully. We're about to put this on the ground. And then... Okay, great. So as you can see, this program is just insanely good. I'm really enjoying it. Now I'm going to show you a couple of more features. Okay, so now I wanted to just take you to a couple of the other things that you can use with this program. Over here, I'm going to go to conditions. And very easily, you can bring up conditions to fly in. Now, you can if you're using active sky, they give you an option of just using the active sky weather that's current. But if you're trying to do an approach in a certain type of weather, you can easily dial it up. As here you see we have fair weather, we have heavy snows. You have your options of what the weather can be like. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to dial up a weather. And I think I'm going to do, because I'm just that wintry kind of nostalgic guy, let's do heavy snows. And let's just, take it back. Now we'll hit here for position. You go right back, and what it's going to do is load the scenery. Now, a little trick that I've learned is if I go to settings and I go to conditions, if you move to the airport for the first time, leave this checked so it loads all the scenery on the first try. But once you're at that airport, go ahead and uncheck this, because then what it'll do is it'll start you over without having to reload the scenery. Definitely do this for if you're using Prepar3D, because you're not going to get the out-of-memory errors. It's going to be a little problematic on version 3 or in Flight Simulator. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, it jumped right back 3 miles from the approach, and let's jump right in. Okay, so you see it's dropped me right back in front of the airport 3 miles away from runway 9 right. I'll unpause it, and we'll fly this approach. So the snow, I have actually never flown in the snow since I've owned Prepared version 4. The snow animations look really good in terms of the distance, or to me they do. Now, admittedly, X-Plane 11 really has the whole, rain and snow coming onto the windshield effect, but I hear rumor has it, that with the release on October 10th of Prepared version 4.1, they're actually going to be addressing window effects or rain effects on the windshield. So I am really excited about that. Now, as you can see, my Ultimate Traffic Live has a airplane getting ready to leave. Oh gosh, I really hate to, I don't want to crash into him. So we're just going to land it. We're going to be bad. The FAA can just come to my door and deal something about it. We're going to land over him. He'll either wait, or, you'll just be like, oh my gosh, that's so unrealistic. You're right. Or it's realistic in the sense that someone would do it, and then they could have someone like busting in the house and arresting them. But that wouldn't be cool. So we're glad that this is just Flight Sim World. But anyway, but hey, you know what? What the cool thing is you realize, oh my gosh, this isn't realistic. I want to do this approach over. I can't do this with an airplane on the runway. Well, then we'll do this. You hit the restart button, you're back where you started. By the time you get to the runway, that plane will have taken off. How about that for cool? So you wanted it to be realistic, that's exactly what you got. And now you can fly on Heathrow. The plane will be gone by the time you get there, and you can keep it moving. Loving it. Winning. Just kidding around. Oh, but check out the cloud cover and the snow. Really nice, melancholy, somber effect. A snowy evening flying into London Heathrow. Really nice. So, you see a couple of the things that we've shown you here. Setting up an approach, totally excellent. Dialing up the weather, very easy. And then setting up your approach, and you can do them over and over and over again so that you can become an expert in your particular aircraft. You know, if you really want to know how to fly, especially if you're going to fly online, oh my gosh, I did not plan this. Did you see it's gotten so late in the evening, while we were on the approach, the runway lights came on. Oh, talk about fortunate. That is totally cool. Big ups to Prepared version 4. Okay, and the plane that was departing, it is going ahead and get out of there, so I don't have to feel guilty about landing over him. And I have the added benefit of landing in an evening approach. This is so totally cool. Which basically means if you do your approach over and over again, at the dusk hour, you can get it. You can go from night to day, all while you're practicing over and over again. I am really endorsing this project, this program, FS Flight Control. There's a lot more that it does. This is not the only thing. But this was just the first thing that I had done that really made me go, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to... let me pause this. So what you have just witnessed is a problem I've been working with. And it's this lag. It's like a... what do they call it? It's a sound ping. I forget the exact name. But it messes with my joystick. And when it hits... it causes the axes to move my camera view up. Happens sometimes at the most inconvenient times. If you know what causes that and you know how to fix it, send me a message in Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, but in YouTube, because it is bloody annoying. I've been working on it for months. I have narrowed it down to something, but I'm not sure how to fix it. So, sorry for the interruption. Let's go ahead and put this on the ground. All right, we're coming in. Oh, that's beautiful. If I didn't have that stupid thing that just happened, it would have been excellent. But that's okay. I mean, that's really a first world problem. There are bigger things going on in the world. I mean, Puerto Rico, Mexico with their earthquake. That is such a small problem. I'm not even going to complain. All right, so we put it down on the ground. It is snowy. It is beautiful. The lights are coming up at London Heathrow. And I had a departing aircraft that's just doing its thing via Ultimate Traffic Live. Loving it. And check it out in the distance. There is a plane coming across the runway. Really makes you feel like you're in a very alive world. Oh, check out KLM over there. Oh, yeah, doing his thing. All right, so anyway, hey, it could be a woman. Could be her doing her thing, captain of the aircraft. No gender bias here. But anyway, all right, I'm going to just close it down now. I hope you liked this little brief introduction. I might do something more in depth on it. Leave some comments. Let me know if you want me to do a full review on it. I might get that out first. Otherwise, I want to also do a tour and let you see the competitor to Aerosoft's London Heathrow and maybe give you a look at UK2000's London Heathrow. Really liking it so far. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little segment. I look forward to seeing you. Hey, leave me a couple of likes, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the virtual skies.